presidential activity, July 2019. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. The meeting reviewed the financial performance indicators for the fiscal year 2018-2019 and the new budget targets for the fiscal year 2019-2020. The President ordered continued successful implementation of the Comprehensive Economic Reform Program. During his meeting with the President of the United Nations General Assembly, President Sisi referred to the importance of international collective action for the establishment of peace, security, and global stability, stressing Egypt's keenness to continue to participate actively in the United Nations peacekeeping missions. President Sisi received the chairman of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on the Appropriations of the Foreign Operations and his accompanying delegation. The meeting discussed means of enhancing bilateral relations in some fields, as well as discussing regional issues and crises, particularly the situation in Syria, Libya, and the tension in the Gulf region. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and Minister of Defense of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, President Sisi praised the strong historical and brotherly ties between Egypt and Jordan. The meeting stressed the importance of continuing to promote economic relations and increase trade exchange between the two countries. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and senior officials, Sisi stressed that the concerned bodies should continue to exert maximum efforts to provide basic commodities and meet the needs of citizens in appropriate quantities and prices, to make them available in the various governorates of the Republic. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi phoned the U.S. President Donald Trump. They reviewed a number of regional issues of mutual interest, especially the situation in Libya, as well as a number of issues related to the strategic bilateral relations. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated the 12th African Exceptional Summit in Niger. In his speech at the opening of the summit, Sisi stressed that achieving productive and industrial integration among the countries of the continent requires more effort and perseverance to achieve the ambitious objectives of the agreement. In his speech during his chairmanship of the Mini-Coordination Summit between the African Union and the regional economic groups, Sisi emphasized the need to face the challenges facing the African continent and the development of economic projects. He called on the international community to support the African continent. During his meeting with the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Sisi stressed Egypt's determination to continue to provide all possible assistance to Congo, underlining Egypt's aspiration to promote the level of bilateral political coordination. President Sisi met with the South African President and discussed ways to enhance bilateral cooperation, especially in the fields of economy, trade, and investment exchange. As well, they discussed the developments of a number of regional issues and files related to the African Union. President Sisi met with the Prime Minister and the Ministers of Electricity and Finance. The meeting reviewed the efforts of developing the electricity system and upgrading the services provided to citizens and the latest developments of the electricity linkage projects with the neighboring countries. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the Prime Minister of Tanzania. During the meeting, the President affirmed his keenness to activate mechanisms of joint cooperation in various fields, increase joint investments, and exchange experiences in the field of major national projects. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Sisi ordered full readiness for the new academic year. The meeting tackled various aspects of the development of higher education and scientific research sector, and the executive position of the national projects of that sector. President Sisi paid an inspection visit to the military college, where he witnessed the daily training programs to increase physical efficiency. The President recommended that students should maintain their high mental and combat readiness and adhere to the original principles of the Egyptian military. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held a meeting with the Ministerial Economic Committee. During the meeting, the committee presented economic and social performance indicators during 2018-2019, and the President ordered exerting efforts to reduce public debt and budget deficit. Sisi received the chairman of the American Chamber of Commerce. Sisi affirmed that reinforcing mutual trade and investment cooperation will open broader vistas for joint action at all levels. He also said that Egypt aspires to maximize economic relations between Egypt and the USA. President Sisi witnessed the graduation ceremony of the Batch 157 Institute of Non-Commissioned Officers and gave the top graduates the third-class military order. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of Sudan, and he affirmed Egypt's support for the will and choices of the brotherly Sudanese people in shaping the future of their country and preserving the state institutions. During his meeting with the President of the Democratic Republic of Algeria, Sisi noted Egypt's keenness to advance bilateral cooperation frameworks at various levels, especially the economic one, and to maximize the volume of trade exchange and increase inner investments. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the Prime Minister and the Ministers of Local Development and Environment. The meeting witnessed the follow-up of the executive plan of the Solid Waste Management System, where the President ordered exerting efforts in this regard to activate the system as soon as possible. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament. Sisi affirmed Egypt's support for the development process in all Nile Basin countries and efforts to strengthen relations among them in all development fields, especially through benefiting from existing African mechanisms. On Saturday, July 20, 2019, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed the graduation of a new batch of students from the Police Academy at the headquarters of the Police Academy in New Cairo, in the presence of the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and senior state officials. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnessed the graduation ceremony of a new batch of students from the military colleges and the Technical Institute of the Armed Forces at the headquarters of the Military College. The ceremony was attended by the Prime Minister and a number of ministers and senior state officials. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Minister of Interior Major General Mahmoud Tawfiq. President Sisi met with the chairman of the Engineering Authority of the Armed Forces, Major General Ihab al-Far, and a number of directors of engineering advisory companies operating in the new administrative capital. The meeting reviewed the executive position of a number of ongoing national projects throughout the Republic. During his meeting with the heads of delegations participating in the second ministerial meeting of the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stressed the specificity of the geographical region of the Eastern Mediterranean in the light of the latest gas discoveries, which opens the horizons of cooperation between the countries of the region in the field of energy and gas. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with the U.S. Minister of Energy and discussed the promotion of U.S. investments in research, exploration, refining and petrochemicals in Egypt. During his meeting with the Ethiopian Foreign Minister, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi emphasized the importance of speeding up practical measures to reach agreement on the Nahda Dam within the framework of the Declaration of Principles. The agreement should take into account the importance and vitality of Egypt's water resources for the Egyptian people and their future. Sisi met with the Prime Minister and Minister of Housing. The meeting reviewed the general framework of the urban construction of the ongoing new cities and the developments in the implementation of the facilities, projects and roads underway. During his meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sisi addressed scientific methods in training the players and overcoming all obstacles for serious competition in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met with King Abdullah II of Jordan and held talks on ways to enhance bilateral relations in various fields, as well as to review the latest developments of the peace process in the Middle East. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi arrived at the headquarters of the 7th Youth Conference in the new administrative capital. The President opened the 7th National Youth Conference in a bid to achieve a constructive and serious dialogue, assuring that dialogue is the most important way towards a bright future. President Sisi witnessed the simulation model of the Egyptian state as a part of the first day of the 7th National Youth Conference, where the youth discussed a number of security and political issues, economic reform measures, and major national projects implemented by the state. The President also witnessed the graduation ceremony of the first batch of the presidential program for the rehabilitation of African youth leadership, during which the first graduates of the program, who received extensive training at the National Academy of Training, were honored. During his participation in the Digital Transformation Initiative session, the President stressed that the Digital Transformation Project aims at establishing a complete information base on Egypt. This information will facilitate the services necessary for citizens and combat corruption. The President also witnessed Decent Life Initiative. He said that it has been started with poorer villages to reform and change, and then the poor villages, as well as citizens' health initiatives. President Sisi attended Ask the President session, in which he answered the citizens' questions. The most prominent event was the honoring of a number of distinguished youth in all fields, and honoring the Egyptian handball team, which ranked third in the World Championship held in Spain, winning the bronze medal. The President stressed in his speech during the closing session of the 7th Youth Conference, held in the administrative capital, that without the will of the Egyptians, we would not have been able to overcome all the challenges and made achievements and gained the world appreciation.